Hello creative minds, this is Layla here and I'm going to share with you my amazing project napkin rings. Well, in this economic downfall, we all try to save something. I grew up saving even though it didn't have to do anything with economy, but this is besides the point. What am I up to? Well, good question. We all have the leftover yarns and why not use them to create something cute and useful? Alright, I learned the napkin rings from an amazing lady, Linda Cohen, fully committed mother of 3 wonderful daughters and a dedicated wife. I always looked up to her because I enjoy and love her presence and the fact to know her, to know high quality human being like her made me very, very proud, and I always felt like I did something really good in my life to deserve to know her. One day she showed me these rings made out of leftover yarn and the idea was born. I'd like to start a tradition. Everyone who listens to this video, please make your own video about the people who taught you a nice pattern and share it with us. Post it right under this post. Include the pattern in it and the knitting directions as well. And please tell us the name. Tell us who is the person you are naming the pattern after. This is our own way to honor the people we love and value. Alright everyone, I have here real life rings, the ones I made. This is actual basic one and it still looks good because it was the designer's yarn here. Oops, sorry, wrapped designer's yarn here. It was quite thick gauge. Okay, this one was a baby yarn, then it was quite thin gauge, and I thought this nice zigzag yarn would really, bring out the colors and contrasting colors and complement each other. Here is the same yellow, orange yellow and purple are really good combination. They really stand out. And this one I used a bare nuts yarn here a little bit to create those tiny fringes and nice button. This one I decided to do country because I had a nice wool, and here this was a leftover fabric from my sewing projects, and this small flower I'll make the diagram for you for this one. It's really easy, nothing to do there. And this cutie was came the idea to me because I thought it was too plain and I wanted to add the flowers, and these are the shells, and I bought them on a Michaels and sewed those semi-precious stones, and it ended up really nice too. Okay, let's get excited. Let's start our project. Alright, very first thing we have to do, this is leftover from toilet paper. Yeah, very funny and very efficient. Okay, we have to cut this exactly the half. So this is 4 and a little bit here. So we just start marking our roll around, and then we connect those dots. And oops, no, I made a mistake. I was supposed to do next to the here, right here. Okay, I'm holding this steel to my roll so it's not moving. Okay, and another here. And we mark here. I guess one more would be good enough, and then we connect the two ends everywhere. See now how I have is marked all over the roll. Now I will try to connect them as straight as I can. Okay. And right now I have to take my X-Acto knife and be very careful and cut this into two parts. Some of them doesn't come out really nice and smooth edges, but don't worry about that because the yarn will cover up everything. Okay, so and then also please watch your fingers. These X-Acto knives are really sharp. So I already cut my finger, so you watch yourself, okay? Don't cut yourself. Okay, see? That's what I was telling you. It's not always going to be a really, smooth, but it's good enough. It's not going to show in the final project. Okay, now we have two exactly the same parts. I'm not, really with exact edges, but again, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna be visible. Alright, my next step is to wrap around yarn around the roll. Okay, I will make a small cut, just like maybe a 7 millimeters like this. See, you can actually, this cut is to secure my yarn, but you can use a hot glue gun or some kind of other glue, and you can secure this the other way, but I don't like to use glue, so I just came up with this way. I'll maybe cut a little bit more, just a teeny little more. Okay, and then I'll take my yarn on one loose end and then stick it here, and it's going to stay here. Okay, see, it's kind of tight. Now I have another end here, see, and when I wrap around, I will try to keep this yarn in such a way that it stays inside. Okay, so the first time I used about 13 feet yarn, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you have this thick gauge, and sometimes you have a thin gauge yarns, and it really it depends on the yarn and how much it goes in here. Okay, I am starting to wrap this around, and see, I will hold this, I will try to make this yarn, see, hide on my wrappings, and I'll try on a nice edge, a nice side here to keep nice smooth surface, right? And I am keeping this with my finger other loose end, so see, it's not even visible. See, very little left here. Okay, see, my yarn actually finished here. What am I going to do now? Alright, let's see, maybe you don't have leftover yarns that are exactly long enough to be enough for whole roll, or maybe you want to incorporate, let's say, white color here. What we do? Okay, we get another piece of yarn. And now I will try. See, I know this part here is my front, and this part here will go inside. So what will I do is just simply tie them together, and we'll try to make this part inside the, see, it's a little close to here. Okay, I don't like this one. Okay, I want my yarn really to be inside of the inside of the roll, so it's not visible. Okay, so I will try to tie these two yarns together in such a way that knot is going to be inside. Okay, this is a quite thick knot, but don't worry about it. Now see, we have knot here, see that? And we simply will continue wrapping yarns around, and basically we can try to hide the knot while we are wrapping the yarn around, or just when we are finished, just stick this inside the other layer of the inside the other layer of a see those wraparound yarns. See, I'm actually wrapping it. See? Okay, let's say I did not know how to wrap around with the yarn, and then I left it out, or something happened and I left it out for some reason. And let me finish this up and I'll show you how to hide this, okay? It's not difficult at all. Oh no, I need a little bit more. Okay, I'll do a little bit more, no problem. See, I don't even worry about this because I'm gonna hide those. They won't be visible. Let me see. Yes, I need a little bit to move. A little bit not ahead. Okay. Now what we are doing exactly. Now it get inside. Oh, I have lots of those knots now to work on, which is good because I really wanted to show my secret, how am I doing this, and show off. Okay, okay, so we move those little, and then so our carton is visible, our roll, and I'll do again the small cut. Okay, you are free to do it with glue too, but I like this way. See, now what I will do, I did a cut. See, this is my cut, and I'll stick my yarn here, and now I will move this back in such a way so this is not visible, and I'll do the same here. That's my dog, never mind. When she sees someone outside, she has to make a comment. Okay, now I have lots of leftover yarns. Now I'm taking my crochet, and actually I'm not going to hide this big yarn, so I will cut somewhere here. And see, what am I doing? I'm not taking hook side, I'm taking the other side, and I'm trying to stick this underneath of this layer. See that? I'll do this with this one too. I will just simply take it and stick underneath of it, underneath of the other yarns. Okay. So you do the same thing with all the yarns from all the sides if they are visible. If they're too long, you simply have to cut them off. Okay, I'll do this. I actually can cut this, excuse me, because it's a little too big. And besides this one, I hide a little bit when I started the project. Okay, some of them are a little stubborn, but then they see. Now you still feel those little bumps here, but this is nice and clean. Okay, and they look great from outside.